Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another edition of the Super Mario Bros. 3. To the Super Mario Bros. 3 weekly randomizer race. We have a special race for you tonight, where we are going to bring on the pain and then some. So get ready for some crazy randomizer action. I'm Pro A007, and joining me tonight is Growlwolf. Welcome.
Thank you so much. We are looking so forward to an absolutely outstanding run tonight. And I know that we've been talking about this a lot recently. We've really been, putting the pressure onto a lot of really good races lately. And that's because we have, in my opinion, we have absolutely done that. We have brought Randomizer to another level. If you're new to SMB3, you may not know this, but to some of our veteran viewers, we do a lot of brackets, we do a lot of Group 2 runs, but lately, and ever since SG Live went through, we've really been doing a lot of things to kind of showcase both our runners and what the randomizer can do. And in this one, we're doing something absolutely grueling where it might look really good on the surface, and that's that we're going to give our runners a permanent hammer status. But the other side is that we're going to remove it on we're going to kill them on every last hit. So if the runners run into a Goomba, boom, they're done. They got to go back. They got to start from the beginning. Any hit will take out Mario. It's a one-hit KO, which means any amount of damage, and you have to start your level over.
That's correct. And we've also made it frog friendly. So we've made it frog friendly. So stages like 6-5 and Fort Knox will be in play here.
So what exactly is a frog friendly map? What does that mean?
It basically means there are a couple of levels where if you had a permanent frog suit, you wouldn't be able to complete it.
Absolutely. And that actually goes through for a lot of the Super Mario. So anything frog, a hammer brother, flower, no matter what it is. Some you absolutely have to have like an frog can go under, such as 6F2, I believe 8 Fortress also has that. Even 7F2 at the very end, right before Boom Boom. There's a couple places where it's a one block. But for the hammer suit, you could actually get through those by ducking. Whereas for 7F1, also affectionately known as Fort Knox, it is impossible to beat it without a tail. So in able to beat that, you do have to have a chance to get there. So we've actually lowered the pipe. So long as our runners remember that it's frog friendly, they should be able to beat 7F1 very quickly.
Same with 6-5. So that's the other unfriendly stage for non-tails. So there are some guardrails here, but in the end, our runners are going to have to grind this out, and they're going to hope for a nice, clean start to this. And we start with World 2, and right away, we're getting an okay start for our runners. They get to skip 2 levels right off the bat. So this is one fort, and Macobra has said no thank you. He knows it's not required, so he's going to have to go a certain way through this.
A little bit of a setback there, but I think a very good decision for recon purposes, whereas DLP, Teeks, and S-Diesel don't know what Macobra does, and that is that the fortress on the left is not required. I wouldn't be surprised if any of these 3 runners actually do go back, play the fortress, and realize, oh wait, that's not actually necessary.
Yeah. Well, they'll ride it out. So DLP had a little trouble in 3-4 and took a hit and a death. And you're already seeing our runners playing a little more defensively. Even with Hammer Mario, they are really kind of holding back on the reins a little bit. DLP using the star is barreling through 3-4, while the other runners have finished off 4-1.
Yeah, we'll expect to see just a little bit of cautiousness here. On 7F, I believe like from 7F2 on, our runners can be very comfortable with that, especially any of the runners that are used to doing the warpless runs with the hammer strat, as well as the 100% runs with hammer strat.
Mhm.
So we could expect to see some hammer strats come out. But when our runners are playing things like, you can't expect that. People don't usually practice that in a speedrunner setting. So being able to do
Right.
something like that here really exemplifies what a speed run with randomizer can actually do, as well as what our runners can actually do.
But Teague's having some trouble with that Parrot Goomba in 1-1, and he takes a third death in 1-1. So he's playing behind the 8 ball right now. He's got to be careful. You actually saw Diesel, I think, not by accident, going for a 5 up there. He's not taking any chances. And DLP doing the same. Oh, Teeks again takes a death, so he's down to 0. Diesel tried to slip past the thwomp, but no dice, so he'll try again.
We saw some fanfare on DLP's side. I honestly don't think that's a bad thing. The power-ups just aren't going to be useful here. So the P-Wing, not going to do anything. The stars will be helpful, obviously going into a level without needing to be worried about the beginning of it. Certainly is a huge help. But even like Macobra, he just took a corner of the thwomp there, and unfortunately that means he's got to start that over.
Yeah. So Teeks actually picked up an extra life back to kind of give him some breathing room there. And he's through. Looks like DLP is also through. Macobra taking another death there. He's got to be careful. He's down to 1 life here. Or 2 lives, excuse me, because 0 counts. So DLP is out. Teeks is at the airship. It's the World 6 airship, so shouldn't be too bad.
No, the biggest thing here, it looks like he will go for a clip. I expect all of our runners to do that, as they do have the mushrooms. One of the biggest things here, and to answer Krista Joy's question in chat, we are running a Hammer Brother suit permanent status with 1 hit KO, which means if our runners take any damage, they have to start over. They are removed from the level, basically. They take the 100 coin fine, and they have to start over. So, one of the things that's going to really be difficult in this one is sometimes you get into the mindset of being able to go through with a damage boost, and our runners just aren't going to be able to do that here.
Yeah, so two players are out of World 6, out of the World 2 airship. A 1-hit Morton, giving them a little bit of a mercy there. And Macobra joins them at 451, and now we're in World 3, and we got 3 pipes in close proximity to each other right off the bat. And all right, so a nice start so far. Will it continue? Okay. This isn't too bad, actually. And we got 7-1 now. Try and clip through the wall here.
That's definitely one of the things I like about this so far, is that there's really not an advantage at this point. I mean, Teeks is going to have to try to clip 7F or 7-1. Anybody else that comes to this level is going to have to try to clip 7-1 or go through it. So, really, even if you take a death here, it doesn't matter. You are pretty much on equal footing throughout this entire thing.
Teeks having a whale of a time with the clip in 7-1. Macobra is in 6-8. TLB just took a death there.
And DLP just played really well. He was able to get through the H jump the first time without any problems. We'll see if he can do it here. I don't think he has he has gone through. So very good. Now he just has to keep himself clean from the Big Boss Bass and should be on to his next level. Unfortunately, Teek's still worried with the 7-1, still not able to get through. At this point,
There
he's
it
just
is.
wasting time.
There it is. Well, now at a certain point he probably was, but he finally gets through. Diesel did it much quicker than he did. But Cobra is at the 4F1 fort right now. Gonna hope that this will get him around.
Yeah, this is very interesting. This is a classic case of divergence.
Yeah. This is definitely a case where it's gonna play out. It's gonna play out, and either that lock breaks. Okay, so the Cobra probably knows he's got the correct fort. Then he's on the right path. Teeks is in 4F2. He's rolling the dice on the other one. We're gonna find out that it probably is not correct.
Interesting. He was able to find the incorrect door there. Teeks did. And with that, he did have to go back through immediately. Obviously, there's no reason to play that here. And he will hopefully get a quick hammer kill here in just one moment. Very interesting, though. You know, we talk about World 7 as being the great equalizer. At this point, we have a World 3 that's a great equalizer. We've seen S Diesel come all the way back and beat Teeks on a clip in 7-1. And now we've got Macobra, you know, trying his best to figure out where the right fort is, and honestly didn't even need it. He only played it to clear the route instead of going through the 2 extra levels. Now we're going to see Macobra take an early lead here, going through World 3, and now viewers, get your guesses in for what world the runners are going to get into next.
Well, Teeks is right now leading on Macobra, using those P-speed strats effectively. Diesel's not far behind. Now, how nasty is Wendy going to be? Not very, just a 2-hitter.
We had a question in the chat for Primetime Mike. The stages, are they removed where the P-speed tail is required? And no, they're not removed, but they are changed. So they are referred to as frog friendly. And for example, 7F1, where the Fort Knox is, we've actually removed the pipe all the way down so our runners can get there without a tail.
Diesel mistimed his jump there, takes an unfortunate death there, so he'll have to do that again. DLP finishing off Wendy at 8:59, so...
All right, sorry about that. It looks like we got one hit KO'd for a moment. With that, we are joining back again. We see our runners into World 4. So if you guessed World 4, congratulations, you were correct. If not, go ahead and guess now because we're in World 4.
So we're now, we got Macobra in 6-6, just barely surviving. It looks actually, Teeks actually took an intentional game over. He had 0 lives left, so he decided not to deal with this. And ooh, Teeks getting sniped by a cheap. Oh, DLP, I think, wanted that star. Unfortunately, misses out.
You know, I think the unfortunate, or the legitimate play here is to go for an actual expected game over. You know, one of the biggest things we look at here is going as fast as we can. But one of the other things that actually gets really difficult is that of what happens if you don't get through the world. You know, for World 6, World 7, some of those, if you take a death at the very end, because damage does happen, that means that you wind up without any one-ups at all. All right, looks like we're back here for now. We see two of our runners, DLP and Teeks, both going through 2-5. A personal favorite of mine. It's a lot of fun to burn through really quick. One that's not all that difficult at all, and just a lot of fun. So as Diesel, unfortunately not able to get through the Boomerang Brothers. I thought he was going to be able to throw the hammers, which actually is a lot harder than it looks, and that's one of the reasons we see a lot of issues here with our runners taking deaths unintentionally, because it's unfortunate, but the hammers don't always work like you want them to. And especially with that, with the fireball, you throw it and it just goes in front of you. Whereas with a hammer, you throw it and it goes based on your speed. So if you're standing still, it's got a little arc, but if you're running, it's got a huge arc. So it's like thrust all the way through the screen. And it does mess with you as a runner, as a player. Throwing the hammer takes a lot of skill and a lot of finesse. And sometimes we see the run, get up to a boom boom, and it just plays really unfair.
So Macobra just finished off Air Force. He's about a stage ahead of Teeks right now. He's in 7-7. This is, I believe, another frog-friendly stage, just because there is a 1 pixel gap where Frog Mario cannot get through by himself, so it actually makes the stage even faster.
Now, interestingly enough, the one that we see S Diesel on is the pyramid, and this has not been changed.
No.
So you might be thinking, there's a small little block that our runners have to go through. Why isn't that frog friendly? Why isn't there a gap there for them? And the answer is because you can go back and grab a second shell and hit that second block. It is incredibly difficult. I played this level for probably 45 minutes before I finally just rage quit and said, no, I'm done.
Yeah, I've done the frog percent runs, and that is something that is one of the hardest stages. Teeks is actually going for a very difficult clip through the pipe, so he doesn't have to run through this stage. It's very hard to do, though. It's something you only see like very, very top level players attempt and execute correctly in major runs.
Absolutely, and not just a top level player, but a top level player who arguably gets lucky. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do for memory manipulation and things of the sort, but sometimes you just got to get lucky.
Yeah, so 1438 wand grab for Macobra. Macobra has a nice lead going on here over the other runners. He seems to have found his form. Teeks is in the Navy stage right now. So we're 3 worlds down.
Man, can we just talk about the fact that this has been the most linear World 4, with a fortress all the way at the bottom right? I mean, it's 15 minutes for our first runner to get through World 3 is extraordinary. I mean, that is absolutely incredible that it takes our runners that long, and mostly due to that World 4.
15 minutes is unusual. It's not unheard of, but yeah, it is. They are getting strained a bit on their skills, and they've all taken deaths in some form or another. Teeks has even taken a game over. Macobra kind of overshot the run there in door 6-4, 3F1.
Absolutely. 15 minutes is a normal run for me. So, but seeing these really outstanding players get a 15 really does show how tumultuous this is. both from the side of the one-hit KO and how long that was. But we are now in World 7. We haven't obviously seen any divergence here yet because obviously Makobra's the first one here. But it is going to be interesting with Teeks and DLP both coming here. We'll see if there's any divergence on their end.
Makobra using a cloud, he knows that this is a linear draw here, and he has found it, and he is going to burn his clouds and get to the airship. Now, slightly calculated risk here, because, Ludwig can be an uncooperative Koopa, but this is a good play by Makobra if it pays off.
That is a very good call out here, and I think I like the aggressive strategy. It's not an earthquaking Ludwig, so depending on how you look at it, that could actually be very scary. No hitboxes so far, which is good.
But no, it was a 5-hit Ludwig, but he pulls through, and Makobra gets his wand grab at 1708. McDiesel just finishing off the airship at about 1655. So Makobra in the driver's seat right now. He is well ahead of the proceedings.
Absolutely, with 1, with 5, and with 6 still to go. I mean, we've got a long way to go, but it's getting a lot scarier and a lot harder for our runners to come back.
Yeah, Teeks sees this, and he's come to the same conclusion as Makobra. So we have we have a 1/4 World 1. It should be pointed out hammers do break locks under these controls. So
yeah, definitely something easy to forget. Honestly, I had forgotten about that as well. We're going full hammer mode here. That hammers break locks. They are all that our runners are going to use. So definitely an interesting place to be. S Diesel did go for a third door jump there, tried to get the third door skip. Unfortunately, has not gotten it, so he will have to start that over and go to door 6 here.
So DLP repeating what Makobra did. Teeks is using some speed strats to gun through 4-2. Ooh! Just missed the jump, but is able to survive, thankfully. Makobra's in 5-8, putting those P-speed skill strats to good use and burns through 5-8.
DLP is going to need to be a little careful here. One of the things I liked about Makobra's strat was he took just a little bit of time once Ludwig opened up to then jump on him. And from my experience, it seems when you wait just a little bit, he doesn't have the ability to open up and basically suck you into that. He actually opens up and therefore redefines the hitbox. And Makobra played that really well. DLP played that even better. It looked like he was just really in it and ready to go. And apparently it worked for him. I mean, he was able to get through without any issues. So well done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good job on him.
Yeah, 2-4. Makobra again kind of playing it pretty conservative there, just waiting him out and finishes him off. So Makobra dealing with a couple of hammer bros on the ice physics. Ooh, I think he wanted that extra life.
But no life, but he did get the hammer. We'll see if he gets a chance to use that. And now he is on to World 1's castle.
Yep, the World 3 airship. Diesel is in a lost level.
And took an unfortunate death there. Either doesn't have the cloud or doesn't remember that he has the cloud, as he's going to be playing this again. It looked like he had just missed his jump there.
I think Diesel and perhaps a few of the other runners, Teeks I think is kind of thinking the same thing. They're saving them for really bad levels, like the 6/6s of the game.
Yeah, I think that's a very good decision. I mean, we've only seen 6/6 so far. We haven't seen 5/9. We haven't seen Atlantis, 7/5, 7/9. We haven't seen a lot of the really long ones. Even 5/3, I think, is a good one and a valuable reason to skip a level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Makobra is being more aggressive. I think he's just trying to play the odds here and just get through some of these worlds as quickly as he can, and that's also valid. I mean, the only thing that is not excusable, I think, is not using them.
Absolutely. The last thing you want to do is to get to Bowser's Castle, look through your inventory, and realize, wait, I've got 8 clouds. Why didn't I use them?
Exactly. So we got a fairly long World 5 start here. They're going to have to play a stage and a fort, and then at least one more stage. before they can get to a pipe. There's also a couple of hammer bros in the way. 6-9 leads off here in World 5. Oh, Cobra taking a dip in the pool there, but not fatal.
We now see S Diesel working on his airship, and it looked like he was going to go for a sub-pixel jump there. He had the sub-pixel, but I think it kind of surprised him as he wasn't able to fulfill it. But now we got Macobra on to 6F2. This should be interesting.
Yeah, another of those stages that is made frog friendly for our runners. So this should be Macobra putting caution to the wind here. He is not gonna let the circumstances deter him from doing the strats he knows how to do.
And very well done on his part for sure. We saw DLP play a very fancy footing there with one of the Paragoombas. He got sucked up by he got stuck with a small Goomba, and he was able to shake free just in time before the Paragoomba got him.
Teeks, I think Teeks was trying to go top side, had a little trouble with the timing, had to sort of recalibrate, and he's finally gets it through. There's a 1-up for Macobra. We got a thick Larry, a 4-hit Larry, but nothing too
nothing too scary about that, but for Macobra, he was very close to a death there. Was able to actually get through and got a 1-up for his efforts as well. Those 1-ups are definitely going to be a rarity as well as something extremely useful. I mean, our runners are going to be looking for those for sure.
So Macobra gets a free pass right to the airship and is on the World 5 airship. A little bit of Fred in our seed there. And it's a 1-hit Roy.
You know, I think this is actually working out really, really well for our runners here, especially S Diesel and Teeks, who we've seen a little bit more conservative in their inventory maintenance. With World 6 being the last run that our runners are going to be coming to, I'm really hopeful that we see a little bit of a paradigm change. I'd like to see Teeks, maybe S Diesel come out with their clouds, their hammers, get through a really long World 6 really quickly because they have the items, and, you know, maybe go into World 8 with a little bit of a tighter race here.
It's possible. It's gonna depend on the item, on the draw here. Like, there's a cloud. Macobra could have used it on 6-5 and would have been right to use it actually, but he's gonna play this through.
We'll see how Go ahead. Sorry.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say we'll see how the map draw plays out.
Yeah, with that being another frog-friendly level, that's one that is totally beatable by a Super Mario. And in this instance, you know, there wasn't a big boss bass. I think a very good play by Macobra there just to go ahead and finish it off really quick.
All right, so the pipes are the first 2 pipes aren't really of any value here. Macobra could gamble here, and there's another hammer. So he's got a cloud, he's got a hammer. He might go for this here. He's going for it. He's going to gamble that the fort is not required. And it is not. He is, I think, got a free pass. He does. Macobra is on his way, and he's got the World 7 airship, a World 4 airship to deal with. The LP's in 7-4 right now.
And watching Macobra play this, it's almost like watching him play just a regular game. I mean, he is so in tune with what he's doing here. He's going to be grabbing the wand here from Lemmy at 25-34. Just absolutely extraordinary play. And now we've got a World 8. Chat, what that means for you is that we are going to have anywhere from 0 to 3 bridges linking us from the last pipe to all the way to Bowser's Castle. Let us know how many you think are going to be there.
I'm going to say 2. 2 seems to be fairly standard for this kind of stuff.
I got to go with 1. I feel like it's been a pretty mild seed for the most part, a little lengthy in some spots, but honestly, we're facing a 26 from Makover going into World 8. I feel like it's going to be one bridge.
All right, yeah, we got a little divergence in Makover already with a Ford. He's got super tanks.
I gotta say, in this situation with super tanks being right off the gate, you've got Air Force right behind it. Obviously, go ahead and play it, and then go aggressive with your recon. I mean, you've already got 2 forts right off the bat. You don't know what's required. You don't know how to get to Bowser yet. Figure it out. Just play those forts. Go find it.
Yeah, that was a force draw. He's going to play Air Force now, and it's 8 forts, so best fort in the game. Some tricky stuff here, but should be okay. Teeks has got one of those micro Goombas kind of latching onto him. Finally gets through it. So DLP is in second right now. Macobro, I think, was hoping he could one-cycle his way through this, but with a drunk Hotfoot, he's not going to chance it. Teeks is in 3F2.
Diesel is going through a fanfare right now, but right before he did get the level skip, so he was able to do a sub-pixel jump to go over the level, did not have to play it.
Yeah, that is a very tight jump. With as anything other than Small Mario, it's really tight as Small Mario, but you get a little more flexibility. All right, so 2 forts already down for Macobra. He gets a linear draw here off the top right pipe. Let's see where this takes him. Into the dark area. We just saw him pass a lock. So he's going to ride the line here. Takes him into the corner. Still has a hammer. I don't know if he has a hammer left or not. He does not, so...
DLP doing his best to take on a Nipper there. He had to take a couple hammers, a couple chances with the hammers to try to get through. Obviously not wanting to take any chances here. I think that's very smart.
Fire Nippers, you don't take chances. Not a one-hit KO.
No, absolutely not. There's so much that can go wrong here. And for our runners who are used to the ability to damage boost, this has to reprogram who they are and what they do and how they run this. So for these guys, it's not just about not taking damage. It's about reprogramming and realizing most of my items aren't going to be any good.
Right.
Most of what I do just isn't going to matter. The only things that really matter are hammers and clouds.
So we've confirmed it is one bridge. He's going to play Navy right now, and if that lock in the dark area doesn't break, he's got his answer.
It looks like DLP is going to be the second into World 8, as he is currently finishing off World 7 here and will be in his fight with Lemmy here in just one moment. Unfortunate death for him, though.
Yeah, mistimed his jump there, so he'll have to reset. Macobra barrels through Carpet Fort, 6F3. Nice carom there. Helps Macobra take out Boom Boom. All right, so is this? Nope. It's on the bridge, so he knows where to go. So Macobra's got this in the bag, pretty much. I mean, unless we get a really ugly World 7 for it, and Diesel taking a death to Boomerang Bros, and 5F2 is our gatekeeper tonight.
Absolutely. We probably won't see any jumps here for the leap of faith, the Jesus clip, if you will. Looks like Macobra is just going to do what he knows, and we'll be finishing this up as quickly as he gets into it.
Yep, and Macobra's finished off Boom Boom, so now the race is on. Teeks. So Teeks finishes off Lemmy at 30-31.
I really appreciate.
Diesel got a little caught there, and this is a forced draw, so he's got to keep playing this. Okay, that's a nice double hit.
That's one of the things that's really nice about the one-hit KO. Maybe not so much with the one-hit KO, but with the permanent hammer suit, is that you don't have to worry about a forced draw like that preventing you from moving on or taking a game over. I mean, if he was to only be able to, or if he had to stay there, that would mean he'd have to go back with a small Mario and he would have to try it again in water. And that just gets really scary. It gets really difficult. And for him, being able to stand up as a Hammer Brother Mario means he still has a fighting chance.
Diesel had a little trouble there in 2-3, takes a death, and Macobra, after about 7 or 8 attempts, has clipped through. So this will be a pretty academic fight against Bowser, and down he goes. So let's get out the GGs for Macobra 52, who wins by quite a margin here, ousting the field with an official race time of 32:01.
Absolutely extraordinary. You look at this at Macobra, and this is just a regular race time for him. But a lot of our other runners who aren't as familiar with the strats and aren't as familiar or even as comfortable. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're not familiar with the strats. Just not even being comfortable with something new like this could be the difference. I mean, a lot of this can be mental in the way that you play, the way you approach obstacles, the way that you go through the levels, the way, no matter what it is, however you play this game starts and really ends with the two things that are, with the thing that's in between your two ears.
Right, and I think Diesel has forgotten that hammers don't break locks, or he's hoping that he can just kind of muscle his way through this, but that's not going to help him here. So yeah, Macobra had no trouble at all here. After slow start, but once he got through 6-6, Diesel, I think, took an intentional game over there.
I don't know about that. That was awfully scary. And I mean, he does have another fort that he has to play, which we haven't seen our other runners do. I mean, he does need that for that.
Well, we have seen the fort. It's 3F2, so it's a pretty easy fort, but getting there.
I'm a little surprised he hasn't used his hammer on it.
I'm not sure. I don't know if he knows, honestly, or if he did, he's completely forgotten.
I mean, at this point, we're in World 6. World 7, we already know, and maybe that's why. Maybe he knows that World 6 has a place for him to use a hammer. Maybe that's what he's banking on. I'm not sure, but I mean, at this point, you have to look at the inventory as what can you use.
Right. Yeah, it's certainly possible. Diesel is have to do a 6-7-4 again. Teeks is going to play 8-4 now, and hope that this is the answer. We know it's not.
DLP just now figuring out the same thing that Teeks is about to figure out, and that's, wait, what's the right fort? And I think DLP is just a little bit ahead here, as he's now on the right fort.
Yeah, he is in the correct fort, and he should. Oh, Diesel again running into that zombie fish. He is just not having any luck with that guy tonight. And we welcome our winner of tonight's insane one-hit KO hammer-only seed, Macobra 52. GG.
GG, yeah. Insane's one way to describe that.
Well, after you got through 6-6, though, it's like you seem to be playing this like you would any other seed, though. And you really barreled through it.
Yeah, I've sort of got my footing there after the first couple worlds there, where I was sort of struggling to, as far as lives and just taking deaths. But once I got my footing in, it's pretty straightforward. Just sort of played safer in general.
Yeah, there were a few spots where you kind of slammed on the brakes a little bit, but in general, you really had a good handle on it. Well, I know. 3-4 was kind of giving you a little trouble early. 1-1 got everybody. I thought I was a little surprised. That Paragoomba, man.
Oh wow, yeah, the first level in the game is kind of on the tough side. Who would have thought, right?
Yeah. Hey. DLP tried to go for his patented slide technique through the block, and he got it. He got half of the equation, but not all of it. He's gonna have to do it again. There he goes. And one thing that you were more aggressive with your hammer and cloud uses. You really were pressing the attack there.
Yeah, I felt like it really paid off there, particularly World 7 and World 6 there. I'm glad I remember Harrisburg locks this time, so I was able to take advantage of those.
Yeah, I'm not sure everyone else. I'm not sure everyone else did, and the level you skipped in World 5 turned out to be 2-3 with a boss bass.
Oh wow!
So yeah, DLP brings it in with an official race time of 36:53. That's second overall out of our 6 competitors.
I won't repeat exactly what he said in the race chat, but it was something along the lines of, I thought I was doing well.
And by and large, he did do very well. He had a couple of hiccups here and there, yes, but no, he was... I think at the end, yeah, it was Macobra just really hitting the accelerator on the item use and really just going for it. Because it was a rather generous seed with its clouds. Diesel was trying to get a hammer kill on Boom Boom, but nothing doing. Gets him this time. Cheeks needed only 2 jumps to get through to Bowser, and down he goes.
And we talked about it before with the Hammer Brothers suit. It can be very hard to time it correctly. As you're running, the hammers go a lot further, and when you're just not used to that, when you're not a regular speedrunner of the vanilla game, when you're not used to the Hammer Brothers suit, that can really mess with you.
Yeah, as you can probably tell with my gameplay, I'm just not fully used to the hammer suit. I don't even go for those strats in the vanilla runs, but yeah, I did it when I could. Just as far as sniping Boom Boom and things like that, it's like it takes some getting used to for sure with the angles and stuff.
And with that, we are also being joined by our second place competitor, who finished with a time of 36:53, and that is DLP316. Congratulations, well done.
Hey guys, thanks.
GG DLP.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
You too. That was that was a blistering pace you set there. I thought I was doing pretty good, and I think I took all the major time saves that were possible. So you must have just been executing very well and not dying. Cause I only died 4 or 5 times, and they weren't too costly.
Yeah, I was wondering about hammers too. Who's able to do what skips there?
Yeah, I used a hammer in 6 and one more somewhere else. I can't remember where it was.
Did you have one for 5, the blue lock?
Yep, 5.
Okay, yep, same thing here.
Yeah.
And then I got pretty nervous in 7 because I beat the fort, so I clouded the first level into the pipe, and then I did the cloud piranha skip into the fort, and it's like, did I really just skip 2 levels going into Ludwig and hope he doesn't hitbox me? And then he was 5 hits, and it was, I don't know,
Yeah.
it was really, really scary, but I'm glad that paid off at least.
Yeah, I had remarked upon that as well. I thought that was a very bold. Both of you did the same thing. That was a very bold move, and yeah, it definitely paid off. I know, Macobra, you also skipped the World 7 beta stage with the pipes and all those fire nippers in World 6. The one in the 6-4 location. You went for it.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, I took that very, very slow, that level.
Yeah, you did. Especially because there was a fire nipper in there. Diesel sees the locks. I'm pretty sure he doesn't know or doesn't realize that hammers break locks here. He doesn't have to play 7-8 with a boss bass, no less.
How many forts did you play in World 8, Macobra?
I ended up doing all 4 of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me too.
Yes, it's like it's one of those World 8s where you have to pretty much verse the whole map to get all the fort speed and get that last one you need.
I beat the first one, and then I took the pipe just to sort of see where things were, and I didn't feel like roaming around the dark maze. Was it? So I'm guessing you couldn't. Was there a lock blocking the pipe to the end, or how was that configured? Do we know?
5F2 was the gatekeeper. It created the last bridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one super tank on the hand bridge there.
Yeah, but I was just wondering if you could play the first fort, on the first screen, take that first pipe, go down. Was the pipe to the right that took you to the 5F2 blocked, or we probably don't know.
It was in the bot. I think it was in the bottom right. I don't think we're ever gonna find out. But
I'm just wondering for like optimization's sake, like how fast you could have done World 8 instead of playing all the forts if somebody, happened to take the right path. But I guess not.
Oh, Heron's breaking locks. You never know too, because you can. If there's a lock in the way, you can just break it and go onward to that way.
So Diesel not wanting to deal with 7-8 is kind of doing a reverse engineering his way through this world, and actually found 7F2 and 7F1 Fort Knox. Trying to get that hammer kill, finally gets it.
All right, I'm gonna take off commentary. Pro A and Growlwolf and Macobra. Awesome time, man. That was you killed it. Not more you could say about that. So,
thanks.
GG.
GG, you too.
GG's.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So Diesel again having some trouble with 7-8. I'm actually surprised he doesn't just go for the pipe. I think this is the sign of a player who's been very tilted.
Yeah, and what an unfortunate thing to say. I mean, it is true. I've been in this situation many times. My wife likes to give me a hard time when I'm going through, and the boomerang brother tilts me because it's a water boomerang brother, and I can't get through it because I'm small. And it's things like that. And it's just kind of the thing that gets into your head, and you can't think of anything else. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate.
In my experience, it's always those little things. It's not the big events. Well, that can happen. I think it's usually those what you would think of as those trivial events that are the ones that really mess with you.
Absolutely. And the first thing that goes through my mind is, I'm better than this. I should be better than this.
Yeah. So Diesel has realized his mistake. Has realized that it was the first fort all along.
Absolutely.
And, oh boy. Well.
And the real unfortunate part of this is I believe he's still sitting there with a hammer in his inventory.
Yeah, I am certain he doesn't know. So he'll be making his way across the 6F1, which is again frog friendly, so this will actually be a little easier for him. Gets a star out of the deal. He can actually start. Oh, I don't think he can. Not from there. Now he'll be able to get an orb on S Diesel, and down he goes. And we actually have one of our off-stage runners has just finished. Johnny Link finished 4th with an official race time of 45:17.
Definitely a great time for sure. I mean, when you're looking at Hammer Brothers, yeah, that's a lot of fun to play. But as soon as you include the one-hit KO part of that. That's the part that makes a 45 still very impressive. I mean, very well done by all of our runners so far. Even S Diesel, except for some tilting, we've talked about that, but still playing a really good job. I mean, he got through 7-1 to put himself in, I believe, either second or third place. So really, he's done a great job so far, despite unfortunate deaths like that.
Yeah, Diesel just having a little trouble. He's not using the I don't know how well versed he is in the P-Speed strats, or if he's not really feeling comfortable with them. But yeah, it's a lot of those little things. He, he's going to just have to kind of just muscle his way through this if he can.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with this being a very mental taxing place here for him, it's one of those things where it's not just about the playing now. It's that you're now starting to second guess everything. Your nerves are starting to shut down. Your nerves, like, you're not thinking clearly. I've seen plenty of really, 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 really good runners make a mistake here or there and immediately think, all right, it's done. I'm done. It's over. And completely second everything about what they do.
Yeah, that Lord knows I've had that kind of situation. Although, in a rather odd way, it can actually be freeing in a sense, because like now you have nothing to lose. So it can cut both ways. Diesel in super tanks.
Yeah, particularly in tournament play, I usually tell myself getting over to the dot done. Even if you get tilted like that, you still want to keep pushing because you never know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You are essentially riding the line. You just got to play it through. So Diesel had no trouble in super tanks. He is going to skip Air Force, which we know to be 8-4. He's going to play the. Sees the lock there. Finds Diesel's kind of thinking about it, but then he decided, no, not just yet.
Yeah, I sure was hoping he'd go for that. Just take a risk. Hey, you're there, play it. Why not?
We know that to be the correct answer. Oh, Diesel mistimed his P-Speed run, jumps, and takes a death there. He's going to take a look at that pipe. And when he sees... okay, so... Yeah, we know 5F2 is the answer, so... He is going to play Navy, and... looks like DLP has got some Contra 3, the Alien Wars going on, a classic of the Super Nintendo.
We are going to refer to this as the Contra Mario skin. So Mario is armed with a headband and a machine gun. So, booze beware.
Oh, Diesel mistimed his jump and takes a death there. Ouch. That's painful.
Very unfortunate. And even more unfortunate is the fact that this fortress, as far as I know, is not required.
No, this broke the lock up top. So the good news is he already knows any levels he's complete. If he somehow takes a game over, will not be on him. So that goes. He is going to play this, and we know that's not required, and so does he. So
absolutely. And for anybody that's wondering why do our runners just go into a level and then immediately nope out of it, we call that the 100 coin fine. And basically what that means is that our runners see the level, and with the fortress icons as being the Bowser level icons, such as fortress, the Navy, things like that, if it's not a fortress, it cannot be required. Right. And even if fortress except for World 1 Fortress, it has to build a lock or it has to break a lock or build a bridge. So when our runners see that, oh, hey, by the way, this isn't required, there's no reason to play the level, and therefore they'll take an early exit. And except for where as Diesel is now, he won't be able to do that again, and hopefully he realizes that, because if he does take an early death, then he will game over and have to start World 8 over again.
Well, the good news is all the forts will count, so he won't lose very much. He'll just have to reassess the situation as is. But Diesel is kind of doing this his own way, kind of taking a more idiosyncratic route through World 8, but is able to get through.
But I love it. It showed his prowess in the game. It showed that, hey, he's still skilled in this vanilla game that we know and love. And honestly, it was his chance to kind of do it his own way, play it a little bit more careful.
Yeah. I would say he always does that anyways. He does that particular route in the first place. I'm not sure what Diesel is doing, though. He knows where all the forts are. I think he just realized, oh, right.
How much of this is being caused by nerves, though?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
You're looking at that race chat, you see the first place in Macobra, who had just finished 20 minutes before you.
Yeah.
It really starts to weigh on you. You're being restreamed on Speed Gaming. Obviously we're still impressed. I'm still impressed.
Yeah.
How well these guys do, even with a one hammer or a hammer suit one hit KO. So it is what it is, and he's doing a great job so far.
He's going in the wrong direction on this one. I think he's forgot where that pipe leads, and that should clue or doesn't clue him in. It's going to actually put him right back where he to the beginning.
Meanwhile, DLP making his way through, trying to find a big boss bass. Is actually with a mecha dragon instead.
Diesel's realized what has happened. He is actually forfeited from the race, unfortunately. So yeah, I think he's had enough. I think he got all twisted around because of that, and that unfortunately, I don't blame him. I think he just doesn't want to do this anymore. So, but we understand, and he's still a really good player. So so we still have one runner outstanding going on, but we'll probably wrap this up in a little bit here. But the unfortunate forfeit notwithstanding, and it was an interesting way to kind of see the race, to see the randomizer. We've done one-hit KOs before, but I don't think with hammer suits ever.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a different one. If you liked it, chat, go ahead and let us know. We're always interested in hearing what you all think.
For sure.
As far as us Diesel is concerned, I have been there on a personal level. I have been there. Even in World 8, that's such a ridiculous place to be. You're 50 minutes in. You're so close. And honestly, he was literally one fortress. And it was just a matter of, it was nerves at that point. I mean, I can only assume it was nerves. I've been there. I totally get it, both in practice and in a stream, streamed race. It's one of those things that you just get in your head and you can't get out of it. And unfortunately, that's how it reacts. And it is what it is. We feel for him.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So, so we're gonna, I think, wrap it up here. We'll be back next Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. As always, I think our seed is TBD at this point, as far as what flags we'll be using. And as always, do give our featured runners a follow here. They certainly are worth the attention and and deserve support, and give me and Growl Wolf, my co-com, may follow as well if you wish. So thanks all for watching, and we'll see you all again a week from tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Absolutely. On behalf of the entire SMB3 community, for our runners, DLP316, Macobra 52, Teeks 88, S Diesel, for running a fantastic race, one that was definitely exciting for me, hopefully for you all as well in chat. I want to extend a special thank you to the chat for being here. We really appreciate you all for being here. Obviously, without you, we wouldn't have the support, we wouldn't have the desire, we wouldn't be here for sure. We also want to extend a special thank you to Lemmy, who was absolutely outstanding. And behind the scenes, he was the one that helped us on speed gaming. And once the stream went down, he was the one that took care of it for us. So definitely appreciate that. We obviously, again, wouldn't be here without them. So really appreciate them. Go give the rest of the speed gaming channels a follow. Well deserved.